What's going on, guys? Beast Ishtar here, and today I want to, along with the daily duel, I want to go ahead and show you guys a deck profile as well. This list comes from Gwentify. It's a website. I'll put the link down in the description below. They have deck lists you can check out and experience with. There was one list that was called a Temerian Surprise, and I really like the list. The only thing I'm missing that I don't have is, instead of the Marigold's Hailstrom, he was using the Twisting Mirror, and I don't have Twisting Mirror yet, so I'll definitely try that out when I get one, because it seems like a cool card. It swaps the lowest and the highest on the fields. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the profile. So I like the way this deck is designed because it uses machines, and I've always been curious about machines. And I'm a big Star Wars fan, so I went ahead and made the name Empire Strikes Back, because I thought it was cool. Alright, so we start off with two trebuchets. Damage, or when they deploy, they damage all units on a row by 2, ignoring armor. Fresh crew, meaning if there's a ally on the field with the crewman effect, such as siege support, the damage is dealt by 3 instead of 2, so it's really effective with these two as a combo. It's pretty awesome. And of course, no Northern Realms deck is complete without running Reaver Hunter, because he is super good. Instead of First Light, we run 2 Blue Stripe Scout for the weather. It's pretty decent. He actually helps out too. He's a 6, so he's a First Light with feet. So we use Philippa. She's pretty good for the damage. Igni, of course, he's awesome if you can bait him into it. Kira for the basically for the Keen Sign or the Thunderbolt Potion. I'm sorry, got tongue twisted there. Sometimes Epidemic is nice. Like you can use it against monsters to get those eggs, so that way if you plan on passing turn, and the eggs turn into the little 3 guys on the field, and their whole field's full of shit, and basically you're like, oh man, I fucked up. Go ahead and just summon this chick, use the Epidemic, kill the eggs, make them spawn the things. If you're planning on passing anyway, is what I'm saying. That way, when you go into round 2 or round 3 respectively, nothing's on the field unless they got the Wild Hunt Riders. And of course, Dandelion is in here as well. Basically, with these 2 golds, they are boosting up things in our deck. Dandelion's target is the Dunbanner Light Cavalry, because you want to boost it up as high as possible. Actually, in the video that I'm going to show you, excuse me, there is we're playing a mirror match, so it's basically the same deck. It's not necessarily the exact same, but it's the same archetype. So it's Northern Realms versus Northern Realms, which I thought was pretty cool. And we both had the same leader and everything, but I knew he wasn't expecting to play against this, so it was awesome. And you'll see the guy, I end up playing Thaler, which is where'd he go? He's this spy guy. He was, because of Solstice, he was powered up to 12. So I put it on his side of the field just so I can get this ability to go off. Excuse me. Where if I'm losing the round by more than 20 and haven't passed, it'll summon all the units from the deck if they're there. Like, you never want to open this in your hand. So the guy ended up passing turn, and he was, I think he was at 57 or so. And when he passed turn, all 3 of them come out, and they were at 8s. So I ended up going to 60 and winning the round because of that. So it was pretty cool. And then we have the Reaver Scouts, which is I guess Reaver, I don't know, Reaver Junior. But he makes a copy, so he's kind of like our pseudo Hansel, because that's my favorite leader, is Hansel. But you know, Folstis isn't bad. Radovid, he's okay. If he was able to lock golds, I think Radovid would be more usable. Alright, and then we have the Cavalry, and then Operator. Operator can make any copy of any bronze ally, or, well, unit. Not spells. I usually use them to copy a Reaver Hunter, just so I can have 4, because it's fun. But you could, I think I ended up making a Trebuchet against the Mirror Match, because I didn't want to give him a Reaver Hunter, because that's bad in Mirror Match. That actually makes his Reaver Hunters more viable, so it's pretty nasty. So I ended up copying a Trebuchet, and he ended up immediately using it, so can't complain against that. Alright, and then Naneki, which thus far I've yet to be able to get her out. It's weird. but she's used for recycling back into the deck. So you can I sometimes when I've in my other decks that I have another deck that uses the light cavalry. If I haven't played Reaver Hunters yet, then I will go ahead and put in the light cavalry, because typically once you go into a round two or round three, it's the person you're playing against is going to try their hardest to get you, especially if you're down by one or up by one. So what I would typically do is put Reaver or put the light cavalry back into the deck, and ensures that if they ever go plus 20 against me, then I have something to help me bolster the numbers. All right, and for I guess you can call this a spell area. We use the shackles, the Marigold's Hellstrom. Again, I'm using this instead of the mirror. I figured it was to be the best choice. If you guys have a better option of silvers, let me know. I feel like the other than this card, which I'm kind of iffy on, because it does damage all units on a row by half, so it is kind of effective. But I'm not too sure yet. So just let me know down below in the comments section what you think would be a viable option other than Marigold's Hellstrom. We use Azor's Double-Cross. It helps to get can search out Thaler right off the bat because he's the strongest off without any power-ups. If it's really late game, you need a Reaver Hunter. You can get that because they power up in the deck. Of course, you can get Operator, you can get Neki, so it's really useful, and it powers them up by 2, so that's really awesome too. All right, so we have a Reinforcement, which is one of my favorite utility cards in the deck because it just flat out lets me search for whatever I want. So that's awesome. And then of course Thaler. He's a spy. When he's deployed, we get to draw 2 cards, look at them, and then keep 1. So I like that as well because I like his effect, that it allows you to keep a card. Most times you run into a card effect, it would be like play the card. So you get to look at it, you're like, oh, this is nice. Maybe I want to save it for later. You can't because you got to play it. So I like cards like this where I was like, oh, I draw Igni. Let me put that in my hand and save that for later. Well, if you guys have any questions on this deck, or the archetype of Northern Realms in general, I'll be more than happy to answer any questions down in the comment section below. It's the only archetype that I play because I'm dumb and I dismantled all the other factions so I can have scraps because I wasn't thinking. But then again, this is still open beta, so I'll know better next time. Alright, well, you guys have a great day. Again, this has been Beast of Ishtar. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and you guys are awesome, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Onward! Attack! Crush those vermin!
Stand and fight.
Thanks. Close ranks!
With pleasure.
Don't recognize your old mates.
Welcome, chosen one.
nature stinks.
You one of us or not?
Don't recognize your old mates.
What do you want?
Private Slate, report on order.
What do you want of me?
Stand and fight!
I've no mercy for your kind. I'll do what I can.
Mean they've not forgotten me. That's nice.
Finally.
Regroup! For Samaria! I've killed for less. For Samaria!
Bloody non-humans.
sweat like a swine in that jacket.
But we're broke as shit peddlers.
Tell me you jest.
You one of us or not?
This is no time to whimper. Don't recognize your old mates. Let's go.
Something amiss.
Thanks. Any last words?
Stand and fight.
You one of us or not?
This is no time to whimper.
But we're broke as shit peddlers.